You're mostly on the sideline in Kansas City, maybe exclusively. What was it like being up in the booth? How is that perspective different?
Yeah, you're right. I was on the sideline for a few years in Kansas City. I was up in the booth though my first couple, so it was cool. It was good to be back up there, and you can see it. So you get a wide view angle of the entire game, can kind of see the picture a little bit differently.
How was the operation and the experience of calling plays?
I thought it went smooth. I thought the staff and players did a great job communicating. They were concise in what they saw. I think we made good adjustments throughout the game and just kind of went with the flow of the game. And I thought our guys adjusted well.
Were you pleasantly surprised by the running game, or do you sit there and say the Patriots were using the second team defense?
Yeah, I mean we're focusing on us. I thought they did a nice job with it. There was definitely some production there and some good things from all the backs really, and the O-line. Like they did a really good job in that game. And, that was definitely one of the highlights of the game.
Mike, what are some of the skill sets you see out of Tyrod? And obviously, every player, Daniel, everybody has his own skill set, but you've been around Patrick now. Are there any times where you're trying to blend their skills into maybe some of the things Patrick has done?
I think when you evaluate our offense, we're always trying to find out what our strengths of our players are, and also evaluating what the weaknesses are of our players. So you want to build on their strengths, and you want to limit as many times as they're in a unfavorable matchup or situation or play. So we try, and as a staff we do a good job of working a lot of, hey, how can we put this person in the best possible spot to be successful, whether it's with adding a motion, adding a shift, putting them in a different alignment. So we stress that a lot with the offense.
With specific to Tyrod, what are some of the things you've learned from him in the time you've been here?
I love working with Tyrod. He puts in all the work. He's a true pro. Before practice, post practice, in the meetings, on the field. I mean, he does a great job. Communicating with Daniel, giving him some insight from his. He's a veteran guy, so he's seen a lot and done a lot. But he's got a great skill set. I mean, he's mobile. He can run around a little bit. He's a really smart guy, and gets the O-line on the same page, and understand what he wants to get done from a protection standpoint. So I've been really happy with what Tyrod's been doing.
Mike, we talk a lot about elements from the Buffalo offense, elements from the Kansas City offense. How long do you think it'll take for this to become the Giants offense?
I think that's what we're working on right now. I think we're taking it every day, one day at a time, working on what we're going to do with our players, put them in the best spot. Again, continue to evaluate and how these guys fit within that offense, and then we got to be flexible as a staff to understand. All right, this might not be the best look or the best spot for this player. Who is the best person for that spot? Who is the best person to put on this route or this concept or this run scheme? And it's spread out throughout the entire offense.
How long do you think that takes? I guess your only experience would be the Eagles offense coming to Kansas City, right? So Andy brought that there. How long does it take for a team to forge its own identity in that system?
I don't think there's a timetable on that. I think we have to work through that every day. We're working on it, and I think when we get to week one down the road, that's when I think you want to be peaking as an offense, peaking as a team, and all that. So I think right now we're taking it a day at a time. We're still working through with our players, being patient with them, understand that we still have a lot of work to do. We did some good things in the preseason. That's in the past. We got to learn from all that. We got to build on top of that as an offense. So I think it's just we're continuing to work every single day.
We've seen a couple days where it's kind of a struggle to complete passes. I'm talking at practice the last week or so. What do you think of the idea, the impression that the offense is struggling so far in camp?
I don't look at it like that. I think our guys are coming to work every day, and we preach in the offense. It's process, going through the process, and there's going to be ups and downs in the practice. It's by design, right? We're putting them in situations to face adversity so that they can problem solve on the fly, so that they can work through issues and communicate on the field. So that's all by design. And I think when you go through a practice, when you go through a training camp, it's going to be hard, right? So we want them that they can work through those things early on in camp, work on it throughout the off season and the spring. That way, when the season comes around, those things are easier, and it's easier to operate as an offense.
If the quarterback is taking too many hits, how much, from your standpoint, how much do you want to, or are you willing to change the scheme to address that, or is it more player execution and like we know this works, but you have to execute it better?
It's a combination of both. I think you have to have flexibility and be able to change the launch point and put the quarterback in a spot where he's just not sitting on a dot and guys are teeing off on him. I mean, that's not, you don't want to do that anywhere. We don't want to do that with our quarterbacks. So we have to be multiple, have to have different launch points and different ways to move the pocket, help the O-line, give some breather plays to the quarterback. Get our guys the ball out of the quarterback's hands, put them in space, and let our playmakers go make plays in space. So, I mean, it's all kind of encompassing. That's what we work on a daily basis.
And related to that, have you watched tape on the Titans defensive line and pass rush yet? And is anything you're doing right now planning for that game?
Yeah, I mean, we're really just focused on today's practice. We got a good couple red zone periods scheduled for today, some open field stuff, getting ready, kind of churning to get ready for this preseason game. So, I think some of our coaches have done some back end work early on, but again, as we continue to work and develop, that time will come, and we'll be prepared.
Mike, in regards to Kenny Galladay, it's been drilled in Daniel's head for years, like don't throw into coverage, avoid turnovers. But Kenny, one of his strengths is contested catches, ripping the ball away, jump balls. Do you almost have to treat one-on-one coverage against Kenny? Does Daniel have to treat it like throw it into one-on-one coverage versus Tony or Wandale might have more space around them?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say that would be the mindset. I think, you want to give our guys an opportunity. I mean, if he's any of our playmakers, Kenny's one of those guys where, if he's one-on-one, he has an opportunity to make a play. So I think it's figuring out the confidence and making sure that we have, putting the right people in the right spots. Again, going back to that. But yeah, you're right. I think you want our guys to be able to make plays in one-on-one situations. It's a one-on-one game. It's a player's game, and I think those guys, tied in with the scheme, tied in with who we got in those spots, they have to be able to execute that.
Mike, when you're the other night and obviously Sunday night, when you're up there, obviously you guys you're seeing things from a different perspective, but you're also working with a limited amount of plays that you guys want to run that night. Is there a benefit that you guys that maybe we're not seeing, that you're almost making notes on the side that, okay, we see how they attacked us this way, we could run this, and this, we're not going to send it in tonight, but you're kind of putting together that bag when, you are game planning for real?
Yeah, I think as a coaching staff, you kind of vet and, put on the call sheet what we want to show, what we want to use on a week-to-week basis. And in the preseason as well, you're trying to still evaluate who we have, what we can do. Put plays on there that our guys are good at, and then put plays on there that we need some work on or want to get a look at. So there's a balance, but I think our coaching staff's done a good job of piecing that together and making it nice and simple and concise for the players.
Mike, in relation to what Ryan was saying, with quarterbacks in training camp, on each play, are you asking them to throw the ball no matter what, or if it's not there, throw it away, or if it's there, only throw it to where our guy could catch it, or what?
Yeah, we're stressing when we're practicing. I mean, from a mentality standpoint, from the quarterback position, you're playing the practice like it's a game. I mean, you're trying to play at full speed. If a play breaks down, we're practicing and preaching, hey, get in scramble mode. Those are all the fundamental things that we preach. So absolutely. I mean, we want the quarterback playing it like a game. We want the receivers, running back, O-line doing their jobs like a game, so that the speed is consistent for the cue, so that the speed is consistent for what we expect for that play.
How do you think Daniel is doing?
Daniel's doing a great job. He's doing a great job. We're throwing a lot at him offensively. He's seen a lot defensively, and that's all just going to help us. And I'm really proud of where the staff has come from, where we started to where we're at. I'm really proud of where the players are at from where we started to where we're at. And again, we're still going through that process that I keep stressing with those guys. Continue to stay on that process, continue learning, continue growing, and we'll continue to get better.